I am the great Cornholio. Teepee? For my bunghole? I need teepee for my bunghole. I need teepee for my bunghole. I need teepee for my bunghole. Teepee for my bunghole? I need teepee for my bunghole. Teepee for my bunghole? I must get teepee for my bunghole. Teepee for my bunghole? Yeah. Teepee for my bunghole.
There it is.
It's a fucking bop. Yes, welcome everybody in. That's right, it is a caffeinated episode tonight of Neon Pocket Dimension. I am your host, Gage, aka Luke Shot First, and I am joined by my two co-hosts for the evening. We got the producer, Supreme, aka the Dungeon Master, Jacob Jones, in the middle there. What's up, buddy?
Yo, man. I need TP for my bunghole.
Oh, apparently. And then the sexiest singer in the business, we have the illustrious singer bro, aka Steven. Or swap that, flip that, reverse it, put your thing down, and
yeah, I feel like I need to go shopping for that, Jacob. It could be a helpful thing.
You need to go shopping for TP for your bunghole? Is that what I'm hearing?
Like every 2 weeks kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot of TP you need there. You got some boys.
It's just like
got a bunch of boys in that house.
When you share,
The thing is too is like you always go. It's always kind of like an embarrassing amount of TP that you have to when you're buying like that big ass pack.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wow, dude, it's all bum stuff happening.
Like that's all for you, dude. You're just hogging all that TP.
I'm never embarrassed about when I'm purchasing. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
I'm just like, yeah, I do need this, bitch. You want me to walk around with a shitty ass all day? Is that what you want?
Nobody wants me to walk around with a shitty ass.
Didn't
so you better be
think
prepared
so.
for me to buy this damn toilet paper. It's this or shitty ass, okay?
One of the two. So hey, I'm going to start this episode off with a drink check because that's right. Tonight we are going to be talking about caffeinated beverages and caffeine in general. So what are you guys caffeinating on tonight?
We'll explain what that is first.
This is the yerba mate. It's a hippy dippy green tea that has some good caffeine in it. It's a nice clean caffeine high, and a decent amount of sugar in these, but not so. Oh no, there's a fuck ton of sugar. Never mind. There's 27 grams of sugar in here. That's a good amount. So.
He was like, wow. This is a nice clean caffeine. Oh shit!
Yeah, never mind. It's fucking sugar. It's big sugar right there. But it's good stuff. And that's what I'm drinking. Actually, I'm drinking it mixed with alcoholic cider, so I'm a degenerate.
Watch me open this now.
Watch me nay.
This is kind of like Odd Valley. We're doing an Odd Valley thing where I'm starting with only like this tiny little can's worth of Coke, and that was probably at like 12:30 I drank that, and here we go.
I brought the most dad energy coffee maybe that you could possibly bring. It's a 0 sugar cold brew nut creamer coffee, vanilla caramel,
yeah.
0 sugar. That would kill me. That's poison to me, bro. I'm allergic to fake sugar.
Yeah, you said that like lethally. You think if you drank,
maybe if I drank enough,
a third of this.
Maybe if I drank enough.
If you chugged 2 bottles of that, then you're
exactly how much would someone need to give you is what I'm asking.
So I had a Powerade Zero once. I drank the whole thing, and that doesn't have aspartame, which is way worse. It has sucralose, and I was out. I was out on the couch, stomach pains. Splitting migraine. So it didn't kill me, but it hurt.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, if I just come over and bring my 0 sugar coffee and it tastes just the same, man. You'll never know.
I will definitely. It does not fucking taste the same. All right. You're kidding yourself, you fucking guy.
Nah, come on. They do pretty good at masking it now.
I'm not really for the aspartames or the stevia myself, but that's all right. To each their own.
I feel like maybe stevia might be the one that I could drink, possibly.
You're probably stevia is a plant. You're probably not allergic to that.
Yeah.
Yep. Who knows?
Good times.
But yes, so we are all
stevia, so we're good.
Cool. There you go. We're all caffeinated tonight, so it might be a little extra A little.
I'm gonna be.
pee on our
I'll
hand.
be hitting the soundboard hard.
There you go. That one really goes
You know what?
an extra little mile.
I think that's like from the Goblin or something like that. Is the name of the movie? No, it's not Gremlins.
Is it the rip-off Gremlins? Yeah.
It's the Goblins one, I think.
It's the Goblins, yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. But yes, if you guys didn't know, this is Neon Pocket Dimension, where every week we come together to nerd out about all sorts of different types of topics, but it is a friendly little pocket dimension in which all things nerdy are welcome. We stream right here on twitch.tv/Neon Pocket Dimension on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're a little late tonight, no biggie. And yeah, it comes out as a podcast or a YouTube video on Friday, so check those out. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. A little bit of housekeeping for you. We've been doing some cool content. We had a rewind theater for the Shadow of the Erd Tree story trailer that came out yesterday. That dropped today, so please give that a look if you are a major Elden Ring nerd and looking forward to the DLC. Me and Jacob got real deep into the specula.
Oh my god! I just Googled and it popped up. I just put rewind. I put what is it called? Elden Ring Rewind Theater is what I typed in, and it like literally is the first thing on Google.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
SEO be
pretty tight, baby.
Hell
This is the
yeah,
new one
dog.
right
What's
here.
up? Welcome to.
Oh, no one needs to hear it. You know what I mean? But
No, we don't need to hear it.
you don't need to fucking hear my stupid ass.
You were dancing for a little bit.
Here's
there,
the video,
and
by the way. If you're
maybe
curious.
for people listening, he's like stabbing and swinging his stick around.
Yeah,
He wanted to go get a sword, but he had no pants on, so it was tough.
I have
So
the
he
same
had to
shorts on
deal
now. The same
with what
exact
he
shorts.
had.
Same exact shorts. It's
But
this
yeah, it was
video.
a fun time. We got real deep and nerdy into some theories, and yeah, it was good times. So yeah, check that out, and then also just stay tuned for a lot of Summer Game Fest game mess coverage. We got we're gonna be doing live reacts where we can to the showcases. We're gonna do some prediction episodes in the coming weeks, and then we're gonna do some recaps of all of the stuff that we see at the press conferences. So it's gonna be a fun summer. Yeah, check out Neon Gaming Dimension. A lot of cool stuff happening over there. And then of course we'll be doing the podcast here throughout. So good stuff. But without further ado, let's go into our opening segment of the week, which is of course what you've been nerding out on.
WYBNOO.
Hell yeah.
New.
Live new. Wow, that was good. That felt very like late 90s, early 2000s jingle right there. That would actually be a really good little stinger if we made like a funny PBS infomercial kind of version.
Right.
You know, like,
Hey,
or
Just like a
local
almost
commercial.
reading rainbow kind of weird thing.
Totally, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm picturing. Yeah, a little fuzzy VHS vibe. Okay, got to think about that.
Hey, we need to. I mean, we need to replace this graphic above that I've had since the beginning of the show. That's really just a text box with an OBS. We gotta fix that and make it into a cool graphic and like
That's
a
true.
thing. You know what I'm
Okay, I can absolutely do that for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun
hell
to
yeah.
do this. Like it, watch it goes swing, shwoo.
Yeah. It's also really
Swing.
helpful for when I'm doing time codes because I just go to whenever I see that thing
Yeah.
above. And then, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, we'll get stuff. We'll do some stuff. I'll get some stingers, audio
It looks sexy
stingers.
right now. It's all
You know what
good.
I'm
So anyways, what have we been nerding out on? Jacob, you want to start us off?
Well, first, let me show you my other caffeinated beverage that I bought just because I saw
sure.
it. Brisk iced tea, blood orange. I don't know if you guys ever fuck with these brisk iced teas that are full of sugar.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good. They usually come in a can, like a tall boy, and they're like pretty cheap. I used to buy them when I worked at In-N-Out, and I'd be like closing, you know. But then I saw this and I was like, blood orange, the fuck? So I'm gonna be drinking this tomorrow at work. Who knows how much I'll drink of it before I start to feel really bad and probably die. So we'll see.
Oh, let's freaking go.
That's hot.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
what
that's
have
good. You got a lot of good caffeine going in your
job.
system there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be awake for this podcast. I was like tired What have I been nerding out on? Well, first of all, beans. I made beans the other day. They're delicious. And then I just made refried beans out of those beans, and that's pretty delicious. And I'm gonna be thinking about it this entire time, until the podcast is over, and then I can continue to eat the beans with the pork chop.
Right. No. You walk us through your process of making your beans real quick.
Okay,
you said you make your beans different, right? You make your beans special. You said.
I make my beans correctly. First of all, you get pinto beans, right? Mm-hmm. Then you take them and then you sort through them, make sure there's no rocks in there, right? This time I didn't do that because I was trying to hurry up. Then what you're supposed to do is then rinse them off a bit and you throw them in a thing, like I'm using like a slow cooker. Then you got to make sure to have onions, garlic, bay leaves, and what is going on with Gage's screen?
I found a beans emoji, so I'm spamming it.
Well, those are beans?
That's
pretty great.
I think it's baked beans, but they're beans.
Audio listeners, you could watch our video podcasts, twitch.tv/NeonPocketDimension every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, or on YouTube at youtube.com/@ Neon Pocket Dimension. You can see what the fuck's happening. But continuing, then you have to make sure you have a smoked pork hock or a ham hock, right? Mm-hmm. So you take all that, you put it together, right? And then I do like 1 quart at a time of water until the water's pretty much just covering everything. Then I put in that Mexican bouillon, chicken bouillon in there. You know what I'm saying? And then just a bunch of spices. I mean, I'm putting chili powder. I'm putting salt. I'm putting pepper. I'm putting that other chili powder stuff. What's it called? Cumin powder. I'm fucking putting sazon. You know what I mean? I think I put 1 packet of sazon in there. That's the good stuff. And then little bit of my skin flakes that goes into all the food. You know what I'm saying?
The standard simple process of making beans, right?
But then it's really good. That's the thing. It's really good. So yeah, you just then you just turn it on. But like this time I used like a 1.5 full onion, and I used an entire clove of garlic that I like use a garlic press on, so like it really like emulsifies in there. And then as I'm going, you know what I mean, I'm still like, even though it's slow cooking on high for 8 hours, I'm still fucking opening it up and stirring it and stuff like that. I might add a little salt later. This time I did it because I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I'm going to have to read the chat real quick. I'm sorry. It says, being Canadian, I'm not familiar, and it sounds like a potion. And then Gage says it does feel like it could raise the dead.
Yeah, it really could. That's some
give me them fucking beans, bro.
Boricura shit right there. I don't know what that means. Sazon is a spice mix centered around achiote. It's very good though. Very good. I would like the pork chops I made. Actually, no, I made fajitas the other day, and I covered in that stuff too on top of the other spices I was using. So yeah, I've been cooking. It's good. And then to do the refried beans, you take some bacon grease that you save right every time you make bacon, and then you put it in a pan, like a frying pan, and melt it a bit, and then you just dump the beans in there. Make sure you don't have any bone fragments, but you can get some of the ham hock like leftover stuff happening in there too, and you just mash it up as it goes. You know what I'm saying? And then once it's nice and smooth, you just fucking put a bunch of cheese on top, let that melt, eat it with chips. So fucking good.
Fuck, dude.
So fucking good. So that's what I have waiting for me downstairs.
Super Bowl weekend to your place.
Yeah. Delicious. I mean, you could eat it, but like just eating the beans themselves, like, you can just microwave it and just, it's almost like a bean soup. It's like very good. But yeah, that's what's going on with food. Video games, played Hellblade 2 last night. I know Gage wants to talk about that. Steven, I think, played too, so we can all talk about that. Great video game. It's more of I'll call it a video game experience because it's like crazy. It feels cinematic. If you're wearing the headphones like I was, it's hitting you and it's crazy. It's like intense. It's like upsetting.
It's definitely all of the above.
It is, yeah.
The graphics are like over the top incredible. I was playing on a Xbox Series X in 4K with the graphics dialed up like default, but I have my Govee light strips on the back of the TV, so that's like lighting up the room, queued up with the screen. And yeah, 70-inch 4K TV is no slouch to be gaming on. So I mean, if I was playing on my PC right here, I would have got more frames. I still have a 4K TV here, but I want to sit on the couch and like treat it like more of a cinematic experience. So I was like, just play it on the fucking Xbox. So I played about 2 or 3 hours last night. Absolutely loved every second of what I played. I guess I understand why it's divisive, because much like the first game, the combat still feels similar. It's like not the best combat everywhere ever.
Well, it's stripped down. It's like it's stripped down, but it's also I still feel like it's more intense. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that to some extent. I mean, if you're gonna compare it to the first game, it feels pretty much the same to me. Just definitely more intense. It's definitely more varied, because in the first game you just are fighting like the same fucking guys. They just have different weapons. In this game, at least, there's like a variety of enemies you're facing, but you're also still seeing like some like enemies similar to the enemies in the first game, kind of. Not to spoil too much, but just saying like at least the combat feels fresh in a way, even though it's kind of similar. But like
I also just felt like they made way more animations, it felt like, for it, like where like there's more moments that are almost, they're not quick time eventy, but they're like, you'll get grabbed by someone, or you'll like push off, or like get shoved to the ground, or there was like a little bit more especially with certain fights where you're like maybe fighting a particular bad guy who's like more of a story focused person. Like, I feel like it'll kind of, it'll walk you through these like moments of that feel more like you're kind of with part of the story in the fight in itself, which I thought was cool. Because like it's not just like, oh, I fucked up and now I got hit. It'll be like you fucked up, and then the voices in your head are like criticizing you, and the character who you're fighting is also criticizing you, and like you see at the end you like have a big crescendo moment of like getting an epic parry or something. It sets up those types of moments. I could see how maybe 7 hours in you're gonna see all of the things that you could see in the combat, but now it's really engaging to me. I don't know.
It is. I feel like the game itself, although people are trying to call it a walking simulator, is very engaging, because I'm looking around, I'm like in the story, I'm like in it, it's like interesting to me. It's like crazy. It still feels a lot like the first game, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways. And this is like about 3 hours in. The environments are incredible. The lighting, ray tracing is like insane. So like half the time I'm like listening to the voices in every, like they're just all over my ears, but then I'm trying to focus on what I'm just seeing, and I'm just like, whoa. And like I'll stop and take a picture in picture mode, but then you'll see this gruesome horror, like horrific, like gore shit, which is like crazy too. And to me, like so far the game is great. Like I see why I'm probably more on the side of like, this is like a 9 out of 10 type of video game. But I don't know. I haven't beaten it yet. So
my initial thoughts, I'm about the same amount. 2.5 hours, but a lot of the time was spent like in photo mode and just looking at shit, right? Like even just on that initial part, I guess it's not really that many spoilers. Like you have where it's just a bunch of black rock everywhere kind of thing. Yeah. Even that was like beautiful, just to watch the waves crash on stuff. And like, I don't know, as somebody who's into art a lot and who really appreciates really good art direction and design, I think they've taken it to another level with this one. So I do think maybe after 7.5 hours you could get to a point where you're just like, all right, this is a means to an end with the combat thing. But I think if they vary it up enough with the big story characters, like Gage was saying, it could be fine, right? Like it's, again, like most people were saying that I've heard echoed, is like, if you're going to this expecting more of the first one, just a little bit more cinematic, I think
then you're
gonna be happy.
You get what you're looking for. If you're looking for like something completely different for some reason, even though this is the sequel to a video game, you know what I mean? Like, which I don't understand. People are just like, well,
People were going and expecting Uncharted or something.
right?
like-
It's
Or
not
like God of War, yeah.
or God of War, yeah.
like you're missing the point of the video game. The video game is what the first one did, which is to put you in the head of someone who has psychosis and go through a narrative cinematic adventure or ordeal, I guess is more of a better way to put it. And that's what this is pulling off. And like, dude, it is like very much a hardcore like Viking story too, which is like metal as fuck. Like there's
Freaking
some
metal, yeah.
dope ass music happening that with that throat singing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
There's like it's like and then you just like
Who
hear
I
the
think
fucking
actually
sick
have
ass drums. You're
songs
like, oh
in
my
there,
There's
right?
there's some Who in there, yeah. There's
Yeah.
some Who.
yeah. It's so to me, it's like it's fucking badass. But like I could see why I wouldn't vibe with everyone. I won't talk about biases. Hey, whatever.
Sure.
It is what it is. Maybe we have a video coming up on that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The thing with that is like, I won't touch on that, but I think with the game, just if you like narrative experiences and, you want to have a little more insight into some psychosis and things, that this really does it. And
yeah,
you know, it's somebody who does sometimes struggle with like, you have that little inner voice that does self-doubt and stuff like that. There's even echoes of that. Like,
yeah,
like I don't
Just
have
for any
psychosis or
regular
whatever,
old
but, like,
person, just
yeah.
self-confidence.
yeah. You're just
there's a lot of that.
she's just physically hearing the voice, and it's you know what I mean. And whereas like people are actually here, like people feel that versus hear that. But you like to me, it like makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is like your inner like clashing of feelings of being like, oh, I could do this, but then also like you're so fucking stupid. Why'd you do that? You know?
Well, it's right.
They're
And
really
the
saying
intrusive
that.
thought, right? Like Mr. Hawks is saying, intrusive thoughts. But there's a cool video in the extras that I encourage people to watch. It's about half an hour before. It's like a little intro to the game, and it shows you a little bit of like the first one and how it was made and how it affected the people who they interviewed, like people with actual psychosis and brought in, and and they're working on the game with them as consultants and things like that. And it's a really cool one, and they have like a professor like walking you through what psychosis is and kind of how it affects people and how the game is portraying stuff. I don't know, really cool shit, man.
Really cool shit.
I'm enjoying it.
For me, just like sitting down and doing this has been like when playing it, and it was similar with the first one in a lot of ways. Like it's just an utterly unique experience, and like and I find myself kind of feeling really weird about the way it's being talked about on the internet. And I know we're gonna talk about this more, so I won't go too into it. But just the fact that like everyone just really needs to compare it to other things, and especially with the gameplay, they're like looking for it to be this thing that for me it's just not. Like it is like sit down, make the room dark, put on headphones. Like my wife and I both had controllers so that we could have headphones coming through the controllers. And so we were both sitting there with headphones on and just being like, and then just experience this thing. It's kind of slow in ways, but it's like you're gonna go like just in that first 2 hours that I played, about the same as you guys. Like I felt genuine fear, like utter discomfort and like claustrophobia, which I'm not even claustrophobic, but there's just some moments where you're like the drowning stuff and
like get me out of here kind of thing.
Like just like frantic, and then incredible vistas where I'm just jaw on the floor, like how is this possible? Unreal Engine 5 is just being utilized the best I've ever seen it. And
people, man, the people just look so like incredible. I'm like, man, we're getting there. You know what I mean, people aren't gonna look like dolls anymore. Like they're looking real now in this game.
Seriously, Melina already deserves, in my mind, a Game Award and more for BAFTAs and stuff like that.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to see where the story goes. I'm sure it's gonna get crazy, and I think it's great that it's just its own thing, and like I don't think it needs to be gamified the way that other games are. I think for me, like just experiencing this one thing is utterly exciting, So.
Yeah, I feel like and I'll get off this, but I'm just gonna say like message to the gamers out there, like not playing video games shouldn't just be about like gotta beat it quick, move on to the next one. Like I gotta do this, get my platinum, move on, right? Like slow the fuck down, dude. Like sit down and actually pay attention to the video game. Like play the thing, like feel the experience. You know what I mean?
It's immersive, man.
It's very immersive.
incredible. I love that's 2 hours just disappeared. They
Totally.
Yeah, I was up till like 11:30 playing that last night. So,
Yeah,
but
my wife was like, I want to go to bed at 9. Like, I have an early call in the morning, and and it was 10:30 in no time. And I was like, she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, dude. And she was just watching. She wasn't even playing. And that's the other thing is she couldn't tell when I was playing and when I wasn't, like at all. You know what I mean? And I was like,
I struggled a little bit with that because I'm like, do I press buttons here a little bit?
mm-hmm.
But really, that's the only like thing I could see where I was like,
people were talking about that like it's a negative, but like that's kind of a positive for me because like it just feels like you're watching a movie, but you're controlling the movie, and the movie it looks like the visual quality of a movie. And like so
there's a moment when you're crawling through the boat where I didn't even know I was supposed to like move a sack away in front of me. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know I could control right now. That's awesome. Like
like every time it like goes into an animation, like I ease off the controller to see like how how often you have to press stuff, and like she'll stop,
Yeah.
So like if you're noticing she's not stopping, it's because you're just holding like the up stick. You know what I mean? Like it is like you're doing stuff. Trust me. But yeah, cool game. Let's
there's more to talk about.
We're enough gamer shit, but let me talk about quickly Diablo 4 Season 4. Incredible. Fucking incredible. I got a character to level 65 Barbarian. It's so quick. You level up fast. The new loot stuff is incredible. I recommend you fucking jump back in and play.
Okay,
if you haven't beaten the game, just beat the damn game. Like, don't even do a seasonal character. Go to your Eternal Realm character and finish the game. Just finish it, and then you could roll a seasonal character. That's out to all you game passers or newcomers. Don't do any side quests. Just play the game. You don't have to rush through it. Just beat the fucking game so you can get to the end game, which is new characters every season. And then you'll understand what I'm talking about, because you won't be able to really engage with that stuff, I don't think, unless you're in the new season. So, that's pretty much it for me. What else? Oh, Gundam update. Episode 566, I think now of One Piece.
Oh,
I think it's 566. Who wants to go next?
Damn, that's fantastic. Go for it, Steven.
Yeah, I'll go for it, man. So I've been playing Balatro a little bit. I finally beat the stupid Nebula deck, which was a pain in the ass. It took me so many tries to beat that one. If you know, you know. I won't belabor that point. But also played some Diablo 4. Been playing some dabbling every once in a while, maybe when I'm supposed to be working or what. It's fine.
Beat it.
Obviously, I'm working through it. Yeah, I'm in like the desert part or whatever. Like,
do you know what act number that is?
No.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. And to be honest, I'm not really paying too much attention to like the story. I'm kind of skipping some dialogue, if I'm honest.
Oh, so if you're gonna do that, then hurry up and skip through it and just get it over with.
Yeah, because for me, I consume those games as like I like the seasonal shit.
Yes,
I like the end game stuff and min-maxing builds and stuff like that. That's where I get the most enjoyment out of it. Diablo was never about story for me.
The stories are actually pretty cool. I encourage you to go back later and then maybe try it or something. But yeah, if you're trying to get to seasonal, just no side quests, just blaze through it. Well, I could run you through that. You know what I mean? We could just knock it out together real quick. Just saying.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Remember that.
We can all do it. I'll jump back in.
That was a stream,
Sorry.
Oh, let's stream the fuck out of that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
But
love it.
Let's just set it up. Just do it. Yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm playing Necromancer. I just unlocked the golems for the Necromancer because I didn't do that for Stuff the Rip, and that was cool to do. Necromancer rips.
I want to run a Necromancer. I don't love the Barbarian.
Gage, I got a pretty sick build that I'll show it to you one day.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was playing. Yeah, I think it was just Balatro and that, and then I think there's probably some other shit. But
did you watch anything?
No, I guess I finished Fallout, and that was really cool. But
the show?
Which Fallout? Fallout 4?
Fallout the show.
The TV show on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The one we need to do a spoiler cast to.
The one we need to do spoiler cast.
Yeah.
That's why I was like timid about this saying that. But it's really really dope. Really dope show.
Really dope. Yeah.
You're really good on it. Some other shit. I've been watching a lot of what is it? A lot of Try Guys stuff, like the cooking things that they do, where they do like cooking challenges, like with people who don't know, without recipe challenges they're doing, right? So
that's cool.
they have a bunch of different guests and stuff on that, and they have judges on there, like popular YouTube people, without a recipe. That's been kind of fun to watch.
Cool.
It's pretty entertaining stuff. I think they really hit a good formula with that. But
I'll subscribe.
yeah, it's a funny, like, it's like almost a nonsense. Like, they're obviously bad at certain things, and then you kind of get to know the people too, and you know what gonna flop and what's. But yeah, good stuff there. Been listening to Hello from Magic Tavern over again. So I'm working and listening with my girlfriend. Like, it's
I am Usador, Wizard of the 12
really a treat.
Master of Light and Shadow.
Master of Light and Shadow.
Manipulator of magical delights.
Zonin Hoogstangies, Hoobastank.
Hoobastank, yeah.
All that, yeah.
You got to get to season 5. Is that what season they're on now? 4? Can't remember.
It's yeah. There's a lot of scrolling down in my podcast app to get to the episode.
Oh, seriously,
dude. You can sort by like old firsts. You know.
I'm sure I could, and that would be the smart way to do it. But I like to challenge myself in my day-to-day.
Oh, you need to get that finger scroll.
Dude, this finger
muscle,
so strength, so much strength.
Yeah.
In this finger.
You guys should stretch more.
This finger.
I'm also double jointed in my thumb, which is weird.
Oh no!
Ew!
I can like pop it out all weird.
Oh shit! You see, I can do this, right? Like I can.
Oh yeah, that
double
one.
jointed
I
here.
can't really do it, but
Wow. I'm double jointed in my legs so that I am pigeon-toed that go in.
Oh yeah, Arturotron, Robo Bartender in the chat reminded me they're coming out with an animated series for Hello from.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait.
Oh shit! Okay,
that'd be cool.
I'm really excited. Cool.
Hell yeah,
good
dog.
stuff. That's really my web new. So
how about this guy?
Yeah, I'll try and go through kind of quick, although I'm notoriously bad at that. I finished Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Fucking awesome. It's another one of those CD Projekt Red expansions that I arguably like better than the base game. I just think like it was such a streamlined cyberpunky story. It had you doing all the cool things like hacking, brain dancing, taking on someone else's persona by using a technology to like hide your face and like take on their mannerisms and stuff. It had giant big mech tank fights. It had
You're spoiling the whole game right now.
Well, no, it's just cyberpunk.
I want to go in
shit, you know what I mean?
fresh. I want to go in fresh, bro.
Yeah.
You won't be spoiled. There's.
It's.
I forgot everything he said. I don't know. I don't even know where he just said.
Already, he's just already forgot.
I wasn't paying attention. I was just waiting until I could say that.
Spaceship crashes in infiltrating swanky parties in the top of high-rise building, like really cool shit. Like
spy shit.
Spoiler.
Spy shit. Idris Elba.
Spoilers.
Idris Elba was great in it. I thought he did a really good job. His character was like actually pretty emotionally resonant. And then Songbird, who's the kind of the main kind of MacGuffin slash a person, a character in the story, is really good and really emotionally done. I think in general, just the relationships you build with that game are pretty much unlike any other RPG I've ever had. Like between Judy and Pan Am and then now Songbird and Solomon Reed, who is Idris Elba. I just think like there's just really good relationship building in that game, which is cool. You really feel like you've spent time with these people and they mean something to V and stuff. And I actually went back and did 2 different endings for it, or so 3 endings total. Because my first ending, I was like, I don't know if that's really what I would like.
If you talk about the endings right now, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm not gonna do any spoiling. My first ending didn't really feel like the true choice that my V that I thought would make. But it just kind of seemed like the choice they wanted me to make, sort of thing. So I went back and redid it like the way that I thought my V would do it, and it was a big difference in what ended up happening at the end, which was cool. It's cool to see that when they make enough content where it's like someone might never go back and play this ending ever again, but it's completely different the way it ends. So, and it was brutal. The way the ending of that happened, it was like, it left me feeling like kind of gut punched. I was like, what the fuck? That's how they ended the game? That's insane. Because there's one ending, and again, this isn't a spoiler, that ends the whole game, not just like the end of the expansion, which is cool. So I thought that was really cool.
Nice. That's a
like
spoiler.
Well, I guess because you don't know
is.
how you're gonna get there, but
No, it's spoiled. Now I know.
Well,
I didn't want to know anything.
I mean,
You're telling me
I don't
everything.
think
You're just-
it's not telegraphed in any way, shape, or form. You're not going to be like, oh, this is the one that ends the whole game.
Now
You
I
what
know
mean?
that there is an ending that you can
Yeah.
get. Okay.
you know what?
that
Experience.
was
Stop
out there.
giving me so many
Experiential
details.
spoilers.
Just tell me tell me like, did you like it? Was the music
loved it.
good?
Great.
Did it play well? Was the
Music
story good? The performances were good. Those are the
score?
things you tell. You don't just go like, well, I was fighting a gorilla, right? And then he turned into a robot. Like you're giving us like the whole
That'd be
fucking
cool.
plot, bro.
Well, that's a whole thing, you know. That's a whole different conversation. What are spoilers to you, right? So,
Yeah.
Everything is spoilers. Every
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
detail is spoilers. You got to give vague details.
'cause
People
I
wanna
liked
know.
it, and it was a good game. Bye.
Yeah, it's simple.
There you go. Anywho, it was fun. It was phenomenal. I liked it a
Cool.
lot.
I need to buy that.
Hellblade 2, we already had fun with that. I went to go see the Rolling Stones last week.
So did my
that was-
grandparents, dude.
Yeah, it was kind of just a bucket list thing. I was like, I should just see them before, important ones dies. I know the drummer died. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But it was, they're old for sure. But Mick is still fucking out there killing it, man. He's dancing. He had outfit changes. There was like, his voice is still shredding. I mean, he sings in a register that's kind of easy to like just not fake, but you know what I mean. He just kind of like yells. He doesn't have to sing too much. But I just mean like it's not too like it's not
like
intense
Geddy
melody.
Lee, you know.
It's like just bluesy. It's not like you know what I mean. So like but he was out there killing it, and their stage setup was pretty amazing. Keith is definitely a little slower. I could tell they turned his volume down a few times, like as far as like he wasn't quite on timing with some of the stuff, just because he was probably just a little out of it. But
Carpal tunnel. Yep.
yeah, a bit of that. But honestly, they had a kick-ass other musicians on them. They did "Give Me Shelter," which is one of my favorite songs, and the chick who came out and sang with Keith, she was super cool African American woman who just like had a fucking pipe. She could fucking sing, dude. And so they were out there strutting their stuff, and it was cool, man. It was really fun. We went up to Seattle to see the show, and it was a good excuse to go to Seattle for. It's only like 3 hours from here, so that was fun. Went out in Seattle afterwards, and it was a good time. It was cool. So that was cool just to be able to see. I've seen the Stones, and then real fast this last weekend I met up with some kind of funny best friends that in the Portland kind of funny best friend community Discord. Run by the Portland Kevin, who you see in chat all the time if you're on the YouTube chat side. So maybe not over there in Twitch, but yeah. So he kind of put together this thing, and we went to YouTube chat. It's gross with me and K-Bob's holding it down over there.
What? K-Bobs?
Yeah.
Abs?
You need to pull this clip and send it to Kebabs, just so that
like
he
calling
can,
him
or they can get mad. Sorry.
K-Babs. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So we went to Oregon UFO Fest, which is cool. It's the 20th year of it. Jacob, I sent you a link if you feel like pulling it up.
How did you send me the link?
Sorry, it's in the Runner Show, down in the bottom.
Okay, what is it?
It's just the UFO Fest page.
Okay.
It was cool. It was fun. I sent you to the page that has like their Instagram on it. So there's just like everyone dresses up. There's a big parade and like all the restaurants and bars
Oh, I see it now. It was
around.
It was
around
hidden.
this town.
It was hidden under the TP for my bunghole image. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's directly below that.
Cool. I see it now. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. It was fun. It was just, there's a big parade and everyone dresses up like aliens, and all the bars and restaurants and stuff open up around, and they shut all the streets down so there's no cars, and everyone's got like UFO themed like drinks and food and stuff like that. So it was fun, and there's like speakers like ufologist type of people, and
There's furries there for some reason.
Furries, of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, a lot of furries.
Lincoln. I saw Abe Lincoln dressed like a Jedi. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
This is mostly just furries, it seems.
I mean, for all we know, the aliens could be furry people.
That's
There
true.
was I
That
did
is
see an Alpha Centauri.
Oh, here we go.
An Alpha Centauri like segment of people that all were just dressed as dogs. So that from the dog star.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know. It was fun. It was just it was a good
Yeah.
time, and met up with some kind of funny best friends. Had some drinks and some good food and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
it was.
Aw,
it
there's
was
a
good
puppy.
time. Yeah.
This is
good
cool.
stuff.
Nice. Ooh, look.
Mm.
Oh, I thought that was a beer. Oh, here you go.
There
Good
you go.
It's
movie.
like something that you would like to go to as well, Jacob.
100% would be
Yeah.
there in a heartbeat. Would
Yeah.
not be dressed up as a furry, however.
You would be dressed up as the green alien.
I could do that.
The gray probably.
Yeah, it's more gray because green aliens aren't really a thing, but it's like a thing in popular
But
media.
do you know they're not a thing? Do.
Because every
I was,
time actual abductees, and people who
They're gray.
encounter aliens, they're always gray skinned or silver skinned. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know
Sure
the
that's
green.
not like cataracts or something.
I don't know where the green part comes from. I think it's because
Yeah,
of
it
that
is weird.
little
Green Man
Men
or whatever. Yeah.
song
Yeah.
back in the day, and it's just kind of
We were
become
talking
part
about-
of this like.
It's
Army.
raining men. Hallelujah, green men. That's the.
That's
how it
not the
goes, right?
song. That's you're mixing up songs. That's It's Raining Men, which is a disco
know.
song.
I know. Well, what if it was raining green?
No,
men?
it's the song. It's the Purple People Eater. Wait, no, that's not right either, is it?
Yeah,
No,
one
it's
eye,
one eye,
one
one
horn,
horn.
flying green
I'm
men.
so confused.
I'm confused as well. Anyway, that's my wife. I'm done.
Neon
I'm done.
Pocket remix.
Horrible,
Hell yeah,
horrible.
good stuff.
I love it.
That's my wife. We're on to topic of the show, which tonight is caffeinated caffeine and all of the caffs that go into it.
Get caffed.
So real fast, let's talk about the molecule itself.
Cool.
It's super molecule kebabs.
Kebabs. I'm so like mad for kebabs. Kebabs.
One day we'll get him on here to defend himself.
Them
Caffeine
self.
is a central nervous system CNS stimulant of the methylxanthine class. Caffeine acts by blocking binding of adenosine to adenosine A1 receptor that enhances release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine.
Okay,
Acetylcholine?
methylxanthine.
Let me just make this.
Eugoric.
Because I'm.
Yeah, it has a
Aden-
three-dimensional structure similar to that of adenosine, which allows it to bind and block its receptors. Caffeine also increases silic amp levels. Fucking silic amp levels. Let's go. Through non-selective inhibition of phosphodiesterase.
Mhm.
Yep.
You're doing great.
Let me see that. Let me try that.
You're
Let me
doing
try that
it.
word. Where
Let's
is
all
it?
give that a shot.
All right. The last word there.
Phosphodiesterase.
Phospho.
I don't.
Diesteris.
Phosphodiesterase.
Phosphosaurus. Okay.
Yeah, the Plasiophosphorus. Caffeine is a bitter white crystalline purine, a methylxanthine alkaloid, and is chemically related to to adenine and guanine, basis of deoxyribonucleic acid. Nice. And ribonucleic acid, RNA. Cool. It is found in seeds, fruits, nuts, or leaves of a number of plants native to Africa, East Asia, South America, and helps to protect them against herbivores. Oh, protect. So we're ingesting something that we shouldn't be. And from competition by preventing the germination of nearby seeds, as well as encouraging consumption by select animals such as honeybees, The best known source of caffeine is the coffee bean and the seed of the coffee plant. Caffeine has downsides, obviously, but we don't need Wikipedia for that.
So I can't help but notice that on the molecule level it says no.
Oh no.
On non.
I am a banana.
That's what I was thinking.
That was probably really loud, people. Sorry.
Actually, it was perfect for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean for the stream. The stream
I
is
see.
pretty loud, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that all mean exactly? Well, it's a lot of jargon, but essentially it's like caffeine.
I'm obviously a chemist. Did you hear me pronounce all those fucking names?
Yeah.
Where's your lab coat, bro?
So xanthine is a purine base found in most human body tissues and fluids, as well as in other organisms. And so that's really interesting that it's like the base of caffeine is the building stuff, like the goop inside of us, right? So like, that's really interesting that somehow apparently that's how they make stimulants. It's derived from the shit that's like inside of us, like a almost like a plasma building block of
So what you're
life.
saying is the power is in us the whole time.
Yeah, we're
to be
unlocking it. We're unlocking it
We're
with
just-
this. It's in there.
Morphin time. Yeah.
Potential.
You know what I'm saying? It's just basically taking what's already inside of us and just amping it the fuck up, like at a
It's like
molecular
when-
level.
It's like when in the
Believe in
power.
yourself.
It's like when in the Power Rangers, they have the little stone things that they find that give them the powers. But then at one point, I think it's the Black Ranger loses his, or like the other Rangers are in trouble, and his like isn't working, or he loses it, or something like that. But then he realizes that the power to morph was in his was in him the entire time.
See?
And then you the whole time. You just needed the placebo.
And you just,
Yeah, exactly.
well, I mean, it does do it does something. It just
There are
activates
inhibitors,
stuff inside of us, amps us the fuck up. Gets that heart beating, dude. You know what I'm saying?
According to new research, caffeinated drinks have possibly been around since 750 AD in what today is American Southwest, meaning mankind has been getting their caffeine fix for roughly 1,200 years. So, yeah.
This is from a bustle.com article. So, yeah, they're just saying basically we've been doing that shit in America since before America, like the native people of the Americas. What's really interesting about this study, because we thought that coffee kind of started in the 15th century, is what I was reading earlier.
In the Arabic Peninsula.
What they found, the reason why they're thinking that 750 CE or whatever was when the first time that they've found like some kind of evidence. They found like these clay pots, right? And they're looking at the residue in there, and it had like it had remnants from plants that were from like a different like continent, all completely. That
Cool.
like essentially had caffeine in it. So it not only confirms that they were drinking caffeinated beverages way the fuck back then by like mashing them and putting them in pots and like who knows, like soaking it in water or something.
Poultices and shit like that, yeah.
But they were also getting it from some really distant place. So like they're transporting this stuff, probably amped on the stuff itself, transporting it across the world all the way here to America. So, humanity, we've been loving this shit forever, which is great.
Yeah, and tea is like is a pretty darn old thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
In India and stuff, tea has been a pretty big staple of their society from probably pretty darn early on. So,
It's crazy to think about how the initial person to discover that did so, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's take this fucking plant and like soak it in water and like let's see what it does. Yeah.
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 They like tasted the leaf and they're like, that could be weird with a bunch of other leaves, and put it in some. Yeah.
Yeah, I also found this interesting like legend that's unconfirmed that I want to at least read really quick, that I think I found on the wiki or something. There's multiple anecdotal origin stories of a legend from Kaldi in Ethiopia, or an Ethiopian person named Kaldi. Sorry. Okay. He apparently saw his like flock of sheep like getting amped up after eating like
certain
basically
plant.
coffee beans, and he was like, "Wait, what should I do that?" And so he just started like chewing on them, and it got him all amped up. But that's like apparently just a story that was that didn't pop up till like the 16th century, so it could totally be a lie.
It's funny how I've heard similar things about cannabis also, where it's like cows in the Afghan mountains were eating a certain type of plant and then laying down all day, and then people were like, I wonder why they're so mellow, and then they ate the plant and also got mellow. And then of course, like ergot with LSD and stuff.
Yeah.
Typically it's just animals and or people eat a plant and then something is wrong with it, or it's just not what they think it is, and then they're like, and then they're either wired or chilling, or their life changes forever. So
That's what they would be like.
Yeah, exactly.
With the
amped up.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Imagine discovering caffeine for the very first fucking
And
time.
be like,
right?
why am I so hyped?
You'd be like this every time.
Exactly.
That's what happened to all of us when we first discovered caffeine. We're like,
True.
Coca-Cola.
I guess we'll get into this later. I think we'll cover the different types of caffeine maybe that we're into, right?
Yeah.
Or that we've tried. But one of the first ones that I was Buku Energy. I don't know if you remember that.
I'll look that up.
It's like Monster, but it came in giant fucking cans before they regulated
Oh my god.
the energy drinks, right?
Energy drink stuff, yeah.
Before they really cracked down on energy. You can still order it online, but
Yep.
it's not in fucking stores anymore.
Yeah,
and that was just,
energy right here.
Late junior high school for me, and that I don't know. It's interesting, because it was touching on discovering caffeine for the first time.
Mhm.
right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first caffeine is like this? Okay. Crazy shit.
It'll fuck
It's
you
funny,
up.
and I just remember those early. I mean, really, first it was sugar, but then eventually, as you got a little bit older, having caffeinated beverages at sleepover parties or things like that, where you're like, sweet, now we're gonna stay up till 4 a.m. and play video games all fucking night or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just being wigged out. You know what I mean? I can't sleep, but I'm I don't know why.
You're making fizz face the whole time.
Yeah, just and you just feel all saturated with sugar and caffeine, and you're just why am I, and you've been staring at a screen for 12 hours. Good stuff. Good times.
Sweet.
Let's move into the coffee corner, because obviously coffee is a big a big means by which a lot of people get their caffeine.
Mhm.
And yeah, what are you guys coffee drinkers? And what's your relationship with coffee?
Steven, why don't you go first, because you have coffee right now.
Yes. Okay. So, so when I first tried coffee, I was like, "This is fucking awful." Right.
Same.
I think
Probably
that's pretty common. Yeah.
Probably fucking maybe
I was like a baby.
11, 10
Like
or
a
11.
kid.
Young, yeah,
right?
totally.
And a young kid, right? So, it was awful. I'm like, yeah, can I try it? Can I have the coffee? Of course, right? And mom or dad gives it to, and you're like, oh,
Ew, you guys drink that every day? What the fuck?
you drink this every day, yeah. And I also think that part of it's your taste buds change every 7 years, right? So
Totally.
there's something to that. But when I first tried it, I'm like, I'm never gonna drink coffee. It was terrible. Here I am at 33 drinking coffee every day, right? But or near every day. The method by which I usually do it is I have a reusable pod thing that I do in my Keurig or whatever here.
Yeah, K-cup.
And I usually like it iced. I prefer cold over hot coffee. I guess in the winter even too. I'm kind of crazy like that, but I'm not huge.
A lot of people like that
in general. So
Yeah.
that's kind of just my thing. Yeah, reusable cups. They're really handy. And they're good for the environment, so
because K-cups are bad for the environment.
Fucking terrible, dude.
So
they are even designing them now so that they will compost, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's true. Yeah.
So you'll take
hopefully we
ground
get-
coffee and put it in one of these basically, or it's like
Yeah. So just take the grounds. Usually Death Wish now because I'm hooked.
you get it
good
pre-ground
stuff.
though, right? Just the bag.
Yeah,
of ground.
pre-ground. I don't fuck with any grinders or anything
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, I have it in a couple times, but it's just kind of too much of a hassle in the morning, right? I don't.
I get it,
Loud in
man.
the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
It's a lot for coffee, and with coffee, you want the most convenient you can get when it comes to stuff. Especially in the morning. I usually do. That stuff's expensive, by the way, the Valhalla Java, but I hear it's really good.
Wow.
But yeah, so yeah, my method is usually just over ice. I'll put the ice and then I'll creamer in oat milk creamer now because I'm just an intolerant boy. So that makes it so I can actually drink it and not feel awful 20 minutes after, not even.
Nice.
But yeah, that's my thing with coffee. Obviously, what I would prefer to do the most is cold brew. Usually I'll soak it for about 12 hours in a French press, right? And then you just drop the plunger and then pour it. So
wow. So you use a French press and you just kind of throw it in your fridge?
Yeah, you just throw it in the fridge with some tinfoil or some shit over it, and then
cool.
In the morning you take the plunger and you just.
That's really interesting. I feel like everyone has a different cold brew method, and like now there's like cold brew systems, but like. Man, that's just so simple. You're just like, yeah, it's a French press. It's already doing the French press thing. You just put it in the fridge. It makes a lot of sense.
You mix it in with some water and you set it in the fridge, and it's good in the morning. Like it's less acidic. It's I don't know. I just think it's the best way, personally.
Delicious. I worked at Starbucks. You know what I mean? I was into energy drinks before really getting into coffee, but when I started working at Starbucks, that's what got me into coffee in general. I started drinking like black coffee, which is probably why I have GERD issues now. Like fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying? Now I'd have to have cream in it because, you know, it exacerbates all of the old man acids in my body, right? But, you know, doesn't need to have a ton of sugar in it. That's the thing, you know?
Yeah, I was a black coffee guy myself. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I like the flavor of black coffee. I love the smell of coffee. But, you know, as a former barista, like, you know, I'll do the grind thing. Like, it's really not that hard for me. I have a grinder. I don't have any kids. I don't have to worry about waking people up. You know, it's not a big deal. I could do it whenever. Although usually, like, these days, like, I have a pretty dope, like, espresso maker. And so...
that's awesome.
Not like I think it was maybe like $100, maybe even a little less. It's kind of like an off-brand one, and it has a steaming wand on the side of it. It's more of a like a foaming thing. It's not like as great as the steaming one. Yeah. But you could still get some pretty good froth, you know, and stuff off the milk. But usually, like, I'm like you, Steven. Like, I like iced coffee. I like cold drinks, unless it's like really warm outside. I'll bust out the steaming wand and you know, make a latte. But usually, like, if I'm doing daily coffee, it's like I'll grind enough espresso, and then I'll just use it throughout the week to just like pull shots out of there. And then I'll just, you know, I have like the different flavors with the pumps, and I'll decide which one I want. And then I put the 2 shots in there, and then I put the ice, and then I put a little bit of milk, and I shake it around, and that's it. Just drink it. But the espresso from that espresso maker is like really good. But if
espresso rules.
Espresso's so good. Like, it really, like, if you want like really robust, like rich flavor, like you can get some incredible flavor out of espresso. But like, even if you don't want to spring for like a crazy espresso maker system, you can just get a mocha pot, which is like that espresso pot, and just, you know, it's like a percolator. You just do it over the stove, and then same idea. You know, you could just wait for it to finish, pour it in a cup, you know, like a to-go cup. Like, I have some that like have like a plastic straw, you know what I mean? So then you put like or you could use like flavored cream to make it even easier, right? Just put, you know, as much as you need in there, and a little bit of the cream. It gives it some sugar. Throw some ice, shake it around a little bit. You got your latte. You don't have to spend like $1 million at Starbucks. Although I do want to try some of the coffee shops around town. I will tell you guys quickly, though, and I'm getting amped up because this Rockstar. This is why I'm talking increasingly faster. Just as an impulse buy, Mochi Squeeze was like, let's get this coffee that was tiramisu flavored, but it's like a Star Wars bag or something. And so when she drinks coffee, like, I'll brew coffee and put it in, like, I have like little milk bottles, like, that are glass, and I just fill the brewed coffee that I've already brewed, and then I'll just put that in the fridge. So instead of cold brew, it's like brewed coffee that I put in the fridge. You know what I mean? So it's like different vibe. probably could try to do the cold brew thing eventually. I just don't have a French press. So I have like
they're like
that in there.
$15, bro. You can go. So.
Yeah, I know. I just don't have one. But I don't know. I kind of like the harshness of a brewed coffee over like a, like I want to taste the coffee flavor.
You
know what I
will.
mean?
Trust me. You taste it with the cold brew. At
I
least
don't know.
with what I'm doing.
I'm not against it. I will get I will get one and try it, and then I'll report back and we'll talk about it, and that'll be fun.
Okay.
But yeah, we brewed this coffee, and I never get flavored coffee, and it's not like it's sweet, but it just like it smells like tiramisu and like really cinnamony. So it's like not coffee I'm used to, but it wasn't a bad cup of coffee. So could I recommend it? I don't know. Like if you're not really a coffee drinker, it might be for you because it's not as harsh. But like I like a really dark roast. Like I said, I like espresso and stuff. Or even like a French roast, which is really smoky.
I like the taste of a
know.
good bean. Like you're saying, like I enjoy the taste of some coffee beans, right? So
Yeah, that's kind of why the flavored coffees, like I feel like they're trying to take the bean flavor out of it. At least with this one, at least with this one is more like cinnamony. So like I think it complemented the flavor. So like I can say that this was good, but like if you're like me and you're like really into the flavor of coffee, I don't know. I don't know if it's really the best route. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, here you go.
What about you, man?
I've had a weird roller coaster of a relationship with coffee because I was an avid coffee drinker for a long time, and then when I used to partake in the occasional tobacco, like the morning coffee and tobacco intake was just my favorite fucking thing ever. Just a black cup of coffee and a spliff. Good stuff. And it was it was a really good morning. I used to live in the Tenderloin in San Francisco, and I had a rooftop apartment, and I used to just go up on the roof and look out at San Francisco and smoke a spliff and drink a cup of coffee and then start my day. It was pretty good. But then in my early 20s, a girl I knew was starting a coffee company. She was starting to do these bottled cold brew, bottled and kegged cold brew that she was just she was in the Jewish community in Brooklyn, and she was selling it to like all like Jewish companies that would sell it in their stores, and it was kosher coffee. That was like her big hook. And she needed someone to do graphic design for her, so I designed her labels and her logo and things like that, and started out that way. And then she eventually opened her first store, and she needed a manager for the store. Started managing that store, and managing, not managering. And then sooner or later, like essentially bought in, and we expanded into Manhattan, and I ran the Manhattan store, and it was like my project. So
Nice.
so we did cold brew, and we did like chicory. This is the coffee. So the company no longer exists. We had kind of a rough falling out at the end there, and there was some legal stuff and yada yada yada. It was not a good ending to the whole situation. But
that's a good turn.
Whatever. We won't get into that. It's fine. But there was some small claims court and things like that. But but yeah, so the company doesn't exist anymore. But for some reason, this web page is still up, and it's weird because it's on my Squarespace for some reason, but I'm not paying for it anymore.
Oh my god, yeah.
I have no idea why it's there, but I found it.
See, can I can still add to cart.
Weird.
Let's see, add to cart. I'm gonna see if I can buy it. I'm gonna click checkout. Let's see what happens. Yeah, look, I can straight up buy this.
Wow, that's crazy.
You might want to shut this down.
I haven't even like seen. I don't even know if that's like my. I think it's like an old Squarespace account.
So
Whatever.
funny.
But yeah, so it was a fun adventure for like 2.5 years of my life. I just lived coffee, and it was fun. Like we went to like some conventions and expos, and we had different like reps, and I tested different coffees, and we had like a whole single origin run, and then we as we opened coffee shops, we did more than just cold brew. We did full espresso thing. So I got really into espresso machines for a long time. That was fun. We had like a 15 grand, like in our Manhattan store it was like 15 grand because I had like four stations, all with wands. And hoppers, and tuning like the grinders was like a whole thing. I remember.
Yep. You had to have the little dial on the side.
Yeah.
Well, humidity and barometric pressure, literally it would just like a storm front would happen and all my beans wouldn't grind right. It was like the whole
shit.
thing.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got really into all that stuff for a while, and I had this like tech from Stumptown who used to come out and help me. So yeah, it was fun. I got really into coffee, and I drank way too much cold brew all the time. Because what would happen is, for a while there, we didn't have a manager in the Brooklyn store, so I would go to the Brooklyn store in the morning, like open it up with like wait for the first employee to get there. Once the first employee was there, I would leave and go to the Manhattan one. So like I would get there in the morning, open the store, have a cold brew, then on the train to Manhattan have another cold brew, then get to the Manhattan store and do my stuff and usually have another cold brew. So like 3 solid 16-ounce cold brews a day. It fucked me up.
I would do we did this thing called teardrop shots. And so what you do is you put like a little sweetener and some cream at the bottom of just one of those little cups.
Oh, cool.
And then just pull a shot and then put it right on top and you just drink the whole thing, like down it all together.
Yeah, down
and it goes like from like warm bitter to like cold and sweet, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And I would just be like, because I was a hot bar guy, you know, so I was making the drinks for everyone. And then so I would just be like, hold up, and just pull a shot, down it, keep going.
Yeah, it was fun.
Crazy. Yeah.
I would drink way too, because someone would fuck up a drink or something, and then it would just be there, and then so you just end up drinking it because you're like, whatever.
It's a white mocha. I don't ever drink those. I guess I could have one of those. We'll just drink that.
But it was cool. I got really good at latte art and stuff. Not really good. I got okay at latte art and stuff.
That's something I never learned. So that's pretty cool. Like, because that's not a thing at Starbucks. So.
Yeah, we had a little template of our logo. And so you could like dash cinnamon on it and it would like make the logo in cinnamon or something like that. It was fun stuff like that.
That's tight.
I learned how to do hearts and leaves, and then I could do like a cool little swirly thing. It was fun. But
yeah, but you're an artist, so you're supposed to be doing that shit.
True.
Yeah, it was fun. But we did New Orleans style cold brew, which is interesting. So it has chicory brewed in it. Chicory is a plant that it's got like some other kind of similar to caffeine stuff. It's like a mild stimulant and stuff like that, but it also just has really good flavor. So it gives it this really like almost chocolatey taste to it naturally, which is nice. It's not like sweet, but it's just got the like hints of like dark chocolate in it, which is cool.
Nice.
So it was unique, and then it was kosher coffee, which is cool. And then eventually, like the big thing we did was we started the wholesale thing. So I was driving trucks around to different like offices and bringing pony kegs to them.
And that's how you got sued.
It actually was the start of the we rented. This is weird. We rented an apartment in Manhattan to brew all the cold brew in, and it was a fucking nightmare because it was literally just an apartment filled to the brim with like kegs of brewing cold brew, and like this is gross, but like flies became a real issue in the summer, and like it was weird. We hired these two guys to like brew all the stuff, and they were assholes and stole from us, and it was a headache and it drove tensions higher. So
I salute you.
Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being a business owner is not easy.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, and then it's a long story, but anyways, but then now what's weird is my wife, when she got pregnant, you're not really supposed to drink more than like half a cup of coffee a day or decaf or whatever. And we tried the decaf thing, and it just like wasn't doing it for us. It just was like whack. And so I decided to just give up coffee because she quit, and she was just having a really hard time with me like brewing coffee every day and just smelling it and really wanting it and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I'll quit with you for a few months and see how it goes. And then the weird thing that happened was after we had Maya, I was at the office, and my boss just like bought the office coffees one day, and I drank it, and I didn't even really think about it because I hadn't had a cup of coffee in 9 months or like 8 months. And I was working, and I'm doing photography, and all of a sudden I got dizzy and almost fell over, and I like almost threw up and was like super nauseous and sweating, and I was like, what the fuck is happening to me? I thought I had food poisoning or something, and I was just like, and then I realized it was just the coffee, and ever since then I have not been able to have a cup of coffee without having that exact same reaction. And it's weird. It's just with coffee. Like I can have caffeine in other forms, but for whatever reason.
What about red wine?
No, it's not a big deal.
You can have red wine, no problem?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I don't know what it is, man. I really don't know. It's just, and it's specifically like drip coffee. I've had some lattes, and it kind of gives me that, but it's not as bad.
I think it's the amount of coffee.
Yeah.
Because coffee has some of the highest like caffeine content, and when you have drip coffee, you're actually having a lot more caffeine. Like if you have a shot of espresso, it's like a bunch of caffeine, but it's just like an ounce or two, that's it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna drink a whole cup of coffee, that'll fucking get you, dude. Especially if your body isn't acclimated to the amount of caffeine. So I think that
exactly.
You're tall. You like basically you're like a newborn baby boy, dude. It's like the first time. It's
and
like,
you drank it probably like you would.
I did.
Yeah,
I just,
like
I was
downed it.
gone in 2 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
you could probably drink a little bit of coffee and be fine.
I could. Yeah, I would have to ease back into it. It sucks because it's weird. On the one hand, I feel good because, like, for instance, I don't have any need to have caffeine in the morning to be able to wake up anymore, which is nice because that what you didn't used to be the case.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I really enjoy coffee, so that's one thing that it's kind of a bummer. And I'll like smell coffee from a coffee shop and be like, it'd be really nice to go like sit and have a nice cup of coffee. But so now we're just on tea. I just do black tea every morning, and honestly, it's pretty nice.
Tea's big in India, so
it's
and
cool.
You got that culture going on in your house, right? I mean,
there you
I
go.
don't know. Did you want to talk about tea now? Like, what are you guys?
Yeah,
hold on, wait. Let me just
Wait.
quickly. I got one last thought on decaf coffee.
It was bad. It had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And apparently they're trying to ban it in the USA. So
Stupid.
Decaf?
no, yeah, decaf. The way they process it, can be carcinogen. So
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, good.
All right.
Fuck it. Fuck you, decaf.
Yeah,
Just
it's
don't drink coffee.
unnecessary.
You either drink it or you don't.
exactly.
Exactly.
Tea. We're talking about tea? You mean like blood orange brisk iced tea? Let's see how many grams of sugar are in this. Let's see.
This is that's the most bastardized version of tea.
I know.
Probably get.
It's 3 servings per container. In the container there is 49 grams of sugar. So what do you think of that?
That's a lot of fucking sugar,
It's
dude.
a lot of sugar. It's not really tea anymore, is it?
So you're like
Yikes.
drinking you're taking some pixie sticks and putting it in a cup full and you're just drinking that.
I just, it was like less than $2 and I just thought it'd be funny to buy.
Well, it's a good example, right? You have different, vastly different ways to drink tea, right? So
Totally.
And just different ways of getting caffeine. I mean, there's so many. Like there's even there's Hint, which is carbonated water that is caffeinated. There is green coffee, which is like green coffee beans. That's almost like juice. There's multiple ways of drinking coffee, like at a gas station. You know what I mean? They got the espresso cans. They got the monster mashups. You got all sorts of energy drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then tea. There's all sorts of teas, right? I mean, there's so many teas. There's tea bags. There's teas in a bottle.
Loose leaf tea.
Loose leaf tea.
What you do, your stuff. And
do you have like a fun little loose leaf tea brewer at your house?
We do, and then I also have like a thing. It's just like it's like a cloth thing that's like the size of a mug top. And so you just put some tea in there and just essentially do like pour over coffee style, but like in that.
Is it reusable?
And that works. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's just like a
almost like a cheesecloth. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
is that how you prefer to have tea then, Gage?
Honestly, we need to refine our tea setup a little bit better. We could probably have we most of the time just buy like a big Costco size English breakfast tea thing. It comes with like 200 bags in it or something. And I'll just do bags a lot of times. I oftentimes do like not cold brew exactly, but I'll boil a big pot of water and I have this big like iced tea looking jug thing, and I'll just like kind of flash brew it like with like 6 or 7 bags in there, and then add more water in there, and then like a little bit of honey, and then I'll just add I'll either heat that up if I want to, or I could just have iced tea like at any time. So I do that a lot.
What about sun tea, man? Like this lady I work with, who is like the queen of the kitchen essentially at my job. Because they have like a thing that says her name's kitchen in the kitchen area at where
That's
I work.
hilarious.
But she brews sun tea like every single week, like in the office. Like she'll set it up and then set it right in the window. What do you guys think of sun tea?
Is that For some reason, I always think sun tea is like you brew it by setting it out in the sun or some shit.
That is what she's doing.
Yeah, so we're right.
Yeah, it's like hot. It's like sun brew. It's like same idea where you're brewing like cold brew, like you said. You're soaking it in the water, but you're putting it in the sun, and that's what she does. But she does it like in the window inside the office, like where the sun hits like all day.
Cool.
Really interesting. Could be a thing to try. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is a thing to try for sure. Yeah, I actually thought about just doing cold brew and seeing what happens. Because like with coffee, like cold brew, like you get a legitimately different flavor from not heating it up,
Mm-hmm.
And it's less acidic is what I've heard also. So there's like a little bit more, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, anyways, that's cool.
This is how you make sun tea.
Sun tea is like, that's fun. I want to try that one.
Well, you got to know how hot it is outside, what kind of tea you're using, how large is your jug of tea. So I guess you could
now
use.
You just complicated things. I just wanted to set a thing of tea outside.
How dark do you like your tea? Well, no, I mean, look, you know how recipes are online, where it's like they want to give you all this information and not just a fucking recipe. You know what I mean? But I mean, this is an explain-o graphic. So
nice.
It looks like
at least they don't give me their entire life story before actually give me the recipe. Maybe
I grew up in a small glen off.
My grandmother would always have a jar
I
of
just
sun
want
tea.
the fucking recipe. Like
I fucking hate it. And between that and like the web pages being full of pop-up ads, and you're just like, I literally can't use this.
That was just happening.
Or they bury
right
the
now.
ingredients. Like, just what do I need? What's my measurements for the things that's like way buried in between shit? And
No, this is what you do every time you find any recipe online. You find the button that says jump to recipe, and if you can't find that, then you scroll down to the recipe, and then you find the button that says print recipe. And then what it does is it brings you to a page that just has the recipe on it, and you can even save that as a PDF on your phone or screen print it. You know what I mean? And that's
like
the way.
I didn't need to know you went to Taco Bell today, and it inspired you to do this one recipe that your mom made for you when you were 3 years old that you somehow remember, and now you're just doing for clicks.
Imagine a recipe page that references Taco Bell.
I've seen it,
That's
dude.
horrible.
Don't fucking put it past.
That's how I click off a recipe right there.
Every time I go by a McDonald's, I think about making a tri-tip
back. Clickbait cooking saga is what Cherry says in the chat. as long as it doesn't ferment, don't forget about your sun tea. My
kids absolutely love this thing, and we go to the park, and then we went on a hike. It's like, is that right?
So as far as here's one thing. I've never been an energy drink guy. If I have an energy drink ever, it's while snowboarding, and it's Red Bull mixed with Jägermeister.
That's just Jägermeister in a more tasty package. Okay,
no, it's called Jaeger.
That's the only time. That's literally the only other time I can ever think about. I think I've ever had an energy drink is when I've had to drive through the night and I just need to stay up for some reason. But always I would rather just get the Starbucks double shots or whatever.
That's called a Jaeger bomb, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not actually bombing it. It just put it in a flask.
Still the exact same ingredients.
So what's your guys' history with the energy drinks? Like I already told you a little bit of mine, right? With the Buku whole freaking thing that it was like a almost a cultural thing too for when I went to school, right? But,
totally. I do remember that. Yeah.
Those must have been bigger in Utah or something because I never heard.
Well, I don't know. It was just like all these, you have LDS people like, oh, we can buy energy drinks, caffeine, taboo. Yeah.
That is Jack Mormon, sir. That is Jack Mormon.
Yep. And it's very prevalent. But it's funny, right? Because I had some LDS friends who were there, and then they would just brag about, we can have Buku, and I'm like, you do know there's caffeine in that, right? Like
a lot of it, and even other mind-altering chemicals.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I don't want to get into that, but body's a whole temple thing, never mind tea and other shit like that, and preservatives. Let's not talk about that.
Oh my god!
Sure.
My god! Hold on, I need to find that sound again. Where is it?
I got you, boo.
Where is it?
Oh my god!
Oh, sorry, you wanted that Jacob has
That's
the master.
exact-
that's
the
one-
When you
master
tell
doc.
them, yeah.
That's
When you
what-
tell them energy drinks have a ton of caffeine in it, right?
That's
like-
one LDS kid who first had his
Yeah.
first rock star ever.
Exactly, dude. And it's funny because it's like, hey, am I still a member of the church now? I fucking love this.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's cool. You'll get your planet later, bro. Just
It's
don't worry
right,
about it.
right.
I'm sorry.
I can't help it, dude. It's just ludicrous with some of the stuff.
Same,
I
man.
think, at least.
Same. Man.
But to each their own, right?
yeah.
absolutely.
Anyways, caffeine, the buku thing was a big deal for me.
Hmm.
They obviously stopped selling buku in stores, which was crazy, I thought. And just replaced it with Monster and a bunch of other shit, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Those giant fucking 24, 32 ounce cans or with the metal lids that would go poof when you open
Yep.
them, just like
Yeah,
a big
yeah,
fucking
totally.
compressed air pop, right?
Mhm.
I still love doing that sometimes. Occasionally I'll get one of those for like a road trip or something, or if I really need an extra boost of energy. Energy drinks nowadays, though, I burn myself out on them. I used to work at the post office, and you work like 12 to 16-hour days, right? And used to live off that shit, and then I just burnt out on it. And I can only do it on every once in a while, and it's usually
Yeah.
NOS because I like the flavor of it, just because it's more citrusy. And then
Yeah,
and
I've
the
never-
occasional
that's
monster,
been-
but like
that's been my issue. Is I've just never really, I've never vibed with the flavor of energy drinks. It just tastes so artificial to me that I've just always been like, ugh, I'm not really into this. Again, Red Bull
Yeah.
is the only one that I've ever vibed with.
Yeah, Red Bull is the first energy drink, basically.
Yeah.
They're the first people to really put that kind of, like, that combination of things together in a carbonated can.
And it was the fact that they were targeting extreme sports so much because they
they
used
were,
to be
yeah.
at all these extreme sports events. So I would go to skate competitions
Yeah.
or up on the snowboard hill. They'd literally like be giving out Red Bulls constantly.
Yeah.
The one time I got really not into, but I drank a lot of energy drinks was I remember. I don't know if it's even still around, but you remember Amp?
yes.
So in my college dorm, my freshman year, Amp came by and just left like 40 cases of Amp yeah, go for it.
That shit tasted good, dude. Like
It did.
It had a good
taste
taste.
good. It did taste good. They just left literally 40 cases of Amp in the lobby of our of our dorm, and so literally everyone just went and fucking grab bagged it. So we had like 3 cases of Amp in our dorm.
Just hopped up on that. I used to have those like every fucking morning.
Yeah, and I actually
cherry.
do remember liking those. Yeah, the cherry is what they left,
And they don't have them anymore. And I think those were the best tasting ones.
there you go.
Rockstar's the best.
So yeah, we so anyways, I just remember like, crunching on homework like that semester and then being like, dude, I literally I wouldn't be able to get through a Rockstar. It tastes so gross in my
It's
opinion.
delicious. But I'm
tastes like
a real
Costco.
Rockstar. Real
feel
Rockstar.
you.
Not
Yeah.
one of
Like
the
no-
6,000
not zero
poison
sugar
flavors.
or-
They all
yeah.
suck. This one is
know.
the best. Just a regular ass Rockstar because it has sugar in it. It doesn't have sucralose or whatever. Like all the rest of them have some kind of form of sucralose in it.
I've mentioned I had a little saga with Rockstar, and I think maybe that's what actually broke me.
Maybe.
Was I have my Rockstar jacket, energy jacket, with they
Hell
partnered
yeah.
with Xbox and Cyberpunk, right?
That's
Oh,
pretty sick.
shit.
And here I'll grab it real quick. But
Cool.
But I think the cool thing, what broke me on it was like you would get the tabs and then you would enter the codes in,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep. I was doing that.
I put them in to get the Game Pass, because you get like $1 or something like that, or Game Pass or whatever
totally.
for every
I got-
can. Or
I got a Halo skin through a Rockstar energy drink that I bought.
I got the Halo assault rifle skin that I'm still using. I have the Warthog skin that I'm still using. The fucking nameplate skin. I got like every thing you can get from that promotion when it first came out for Halo
Yeah,
Infinite.
I definitely have bought some energy drinks specifically for that. That's
Nice.
sick, dude.
Oh, wow.
The Samurai.
Oh, yeah,
let's
yeah.
go.
That's cool. I didn't know you got
That's
that from Rockstar. I've seen you wear that one a bunch of times.
He can't hear us.
Oh,
That's sick,
well,
dude.
his
Samurai,
mouth can hear
sick
me
as
now.
fuck.
yeah, this one is like, sorry about
You're
yeah,
cool.
so it's got the Samurai logo on the back,
Mhm.
and then a big ass fucking like Rockstar patch
star.
on the shoulder. Fucking.
Nice.
Cool, man.
So I
want
think
that.
yeah, it was.
I want it.
That's I think what actually broke me on drinking energy drinks was just
Too much.
I drank so fucking much Rockstar.
Yeah, same.
Probably well over 100 in a month span. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying not to buy these anymore, which is it's working for me. I just got one tonight because it's like, I'm the guy who likes regular Rockstar. But I've tried all of them. Dude, even regular Monster has sucralose in it, which I didn't realize. I bought a pallet of it once, and I was drinking them and getting sick. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, there's just sucralose in this. There's like sugar.
Oh, really?
There's high fructose corn syrup, but they're also like supplement the sweet with sucralose. So like this is my point. And you also Ghost, that's a big one. They have like a lot of crazy flavors, like candy flavors, like Swedish fish flavor and like nerds flavor, some bullshit like that. Every can of Ghost has sucralose in it. I don't think there's any regular sugar one. Like people don't give a fuck about me and my food allergies. Okay, god damn it, it's so annoying. But at the same time, I shouldn't be drinking them. But like, hey, there's also 5 Hour Energy. Those are supposed to be,
is true.
Good for you. But guess what? They're full of fake sugar. I just want an energy drink with no sugar in it at all. That's what I would like. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in Hint. I do need to try that, where it's just a carbonated water with caffeine in it.
Yeah. And have you also seen the fucking chewing gum, like this caffeinated, right?
Yeah. Or I could just take caffeine pills, but like
pills.
I've really gotten into carbonated water, which is like good for me to like, cause if I want to drink a beer or like a soda, I can just drink one of those and be like, hey, I got the bubbly, and that's fine. So you just throw caffeine in the mix, and I think I'll be happy. I think that's what I really need. But lately, I've just been buying, and let's transition out of energy drink talk. Although there is a whole bunch of other ones, I'm gonna read off a couple more. Balls Energy, remember that one?
Oh my God, Balls Guarana or whatever, the blue bottle, yeah.
C4 Energy. There was Surge, which wasn't an energy drink, but it was highly caffeinated soda from the 90s. Jolt was another one.
Jolt.
Yeah, Mountain Dew Amp is what it's called now, and Kickstart. What else is there? Intense.
Do you remember Sparks, which was the alcoholic?
Do you want to get into that? Because I can talk about it really quick.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I used to fuck with Sparks.
Right, me too. So
it was my raver fuel for sure.
Yep. So back in the days when I was working at In-N-Out, I got into Sparks because I already liked Jaeger bombs and stuff, which is energy drink and alcohol. That's what Sparks was like essentially like malt liquor. Like,
yeah, it was like malt liquor and
you know what I mean, and just straight up energy drink blend, but it wasn't like a lot, so it was fine. You could drink a few, get kind of drunk, you get like buzz, you party, whatever. And then Juice came out. It's spelled Joose, and it was the same thing but higher alcohol content. So I started buying those, and we would go to the casino, go party, whatever. But I'd be double fisting juices, and then that's when Four Loko came out. That,
the original Four Loko,
which fucking amped up even higher than Juice. So now we're even higher than Sparks was, and that's when people started dying. Because the alcohol is really high, that brings you down, but then the energy was also really high, which brings you up. And people are just going too hard.
When I was like 20 years old, I remember the Giants won the World Series in San Francisco, and I blacked out on original Formula 4 Loco. And I don't think I've ever felt worse in my entire life the following day. Like it was just like
so bad on your body.
I just remember I just remember feeling utterly wrecked for like 2 days.
You can still buy Four Loko today. It won't have the energy in there, but every Four Loko night is what I call them. If I do buy Four Loko and I drink the whole thing, which doesn't happen anymore, but used to, I'd be like, you know what? Let's do Four Loko night, and I would buy everyone one Four Loko and we drink the whole thing. I would always black out, almost always, or I would fall asleep. Every time. But no, I just want to quickly talk about with soda, we all like sodas. That's great. Coke, Mountain Dew, whatever. These days, though, I'm just buying only the mini sodas, and they're 7.5 ounces, and it's just like a 10 pack. They don't even sell them in 12 packs. They're really small, and they're perfect. Because like I could just drink one of those. It stays cold the whole time. I'm just basically downing it, having just like 1 cup, a little under 1 cup of soda, and it's just giving me a little energy shot. and then it's not overstaying its welcome. I recommend those, although
I
they
like
cost
that.
more.
That's true.
It's always funny how they do that. They're like, yeah, smaller packaging, but whatever.
Some more money.
I do like the mini cans of Coke. I think those are nice because that's about as how much Coke I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have like those in my fridge downstairs and little Dr. Peppers. I just wanted to shout that out.
One more thing I wanted to shout out to was like a good way I like caffeine is coffee and Bailey's or an Irish
Nice.
cream.
Irish coffee, yeah. Fucking rules.
Fuck
I know
yeah.
we got off coffee, but like I feel like that's really a really nice way to get caffeine in.
Relevant, yeah.
Without killing yourself like a 4-Low Coke.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
No, around
This is
Christmas.
nice.
Around Christmas, I'm always doing that shit. It's great.
Yeah.
Same thing with around March time, because I always have like extra Baileys, and so I'll be like,
Oh,
make coffee.
makes
Oh,
sense.
I still got Baileys. Let's put some of that in there.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
That's a good morning of a snowboarding trip drink as well.
I like
'Cause
how
for
you
some
can
reason, when you snowboard, you just have to drink alcohol.
I was gonna say like you always gotta include alcohol. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I literally.
if I'm outside doing something, I probably have a drink in my hand. You know what I mean? If I'm
especially
going to the park,
especially-
drinking.
Yeah.
If I'm going
especially
camping,
'cause-
drinking. You
Drinking.
know what I mean? Going to
River
a concert,
days.
drinking.
Yeah. Drinking.
You know what I mean? You name it. Name something. Go to get a sandwich. If there's beer, I'll have a beer.
If there's beer, I'm the same.
You know what I mean?
True, yeah. Pretty much I'll go to fucking Applebee's. I want to drink. Like
have
I know that's not an Irish coffee. I make a mean. I was also a bartender for a time. I make a mean Irish coffee. I got a whole process.
Arturo Robo bartender is a bartender right now, so every
yeah,
time that
that's
we
like
get
not fair. We're like competing.
But you know, a poor
Yeah.
man's Irish coffee. will be
which
fine.
is it's funny that he makes pun jokes, but then when it has like about everything, but when it has to do with drinks and stuff, he's like, hold on, it's time to
Don't
get serious.
fucking play.
Yeah.
Don't goof
Need to
around,
correct
man.
you. No goofing. Okay. Just so
I
you
might be a
know.
robo bartender, but I'm still a bartender.
Hey, that's his parameters to activate. Like,
right.
you don't know what
Lock
you're
it
doing.
in, dude.
All
You
of a
don't
sudden,
know
his
how to
code
make a
switches on. Yeah. Good shit.
Good shit. What else we got, Gage?
I mean, I guess just you were talking about sodas and just their relationship with video game promotions and stuff like that, and it's really funny. It is true. I just remember like the quintessential like Xbox 360 time where it's like Xbox 360, Call of Duty or Halo, and fucking energy drinks or
Live
soda.
wiring code red. Where
Yeah, exactly.
Patron
and
saints
hot
of Halo.
Cheetos.
It still happens to this day, man. You know.
Yeah, it's
But-
just it's an interesting, unique little bit of what do they call that? Just branding synergy. There it is.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, kind of like that's how you relate nerds. I guess what I was really trying to do as like a bookend, if you will, is that nerds like caffeine because nerds like to stay up late and play video games even though they got shit to do tomorrow. Nerds want to play Dungeons and Dragons for an entire day and not be tired.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nerds don't like to get up and go outside, right? And get exercise. So they need to get their energy from sugar and caffeine. You know what I'm saying? And I always found it interesting that like Think Geek literally had like, if you remember Think Geek, because it's like owned by GameStop now. They had like, you can click on like fandoms and stuff. Or it was a website where you could buy like nerdy merch essentially. They had a whole caffeine one like category. You could click on like caffeine, and it's like caffeine T-shirts, coffee cups, the caffeine molecule plush. You know what I mean? It's just like caffeine is a nerdy ass thing. Is all I'm trying to say.
And one thing I want to say
That's
too is like for people who do not know, and this is like kind of a PSA, caffeine has diminishing returns after 7 days of drinking it consistently. So you will have to continue drinking more and more to get the same effect as you would. It's just like anything else. Moderation is important, right?
Yeah, totally.
As I say that as I almost finished this damn thing. So
Hey man, get it.
Good. You can't replace sleep. Basically,
no.
you should sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You should sleep.
Gamers, nerds, get some rest.
Touch grace.
Right.
Yeah.
XO says caffeine withdrawals are real with the headaches. When I quit caffeine during Aisha's pregnancy, There was a month there where I would like randomly just get like I don't get migraines, but it's what I imagine a migraine feels like, where it's just a debilitating headache, which used to happen. Yeah, that sucked for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was not fun. But then it just goes away, and honestly, it's honestly like it's interesting. I just really don't like crave it in the morning anymore. I mean, tea obviously has caffeine in it, but my wake up process no longer like I'm no longer nothing until I have caffeine. I'm like, oh, I'll have some tea because it sounds nice, but
I wouldn't say I'm that way with caffeine, right? I thankfully I'm not that reliant on it. Like, don't talk to me until I have my coffee. Kind of thing.
I was when I
never
was
buy
a
that.
full blown coffee drinker.
Personally, I never buy that bullshit. I feel like it's just an excuse to be grumpy in the morning. Like,
Sure.
But yeah, I could see it. Like,
Don't talk to me until I've had my breakfast.
right.
That's
me. That's my thing. Yeah,
I'm
let me have
like
my
cranky until I
breakfast.
eat. Like I can't just wake up and go to Target and like you
Yeah.
expect me not to be pissed off like before I have any kind of drop of food. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. I used to just be this way where it was like no matter what, if I was on a trip or anything, like the first thing I did in the morning, like even before showering and stuff, I would just like have to go find a coffee place or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a nature of habit. Like it's not necessarily like I was extra grumpy or whatever. I just literally didn't feel awake like until I had my first cup of coffee.
Your morning routine was disrupted if you didn't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was also TMI, but it was kind of a regularity thing.
Oh yeah.
too.
Poo-poo.
Well, yeah.
Gotta get
That's
that
another
poo-poo
part
flowing.
of caffeine is it's a diuretic, right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Get that poo-poo flowing.
Uh-huh.
Good shit. Yeah, I mean I have like
Literally
like I
good
said,
shit.
I've been like I said, I've been drinking those little cups or little cans of soda or like a double shot of espresso every day. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
especially if I stay up late, which I tend to because I'm like trying to beat these games and stuff or do whatever. Like right now I'm
least
getting
5
ready.
minutes.
Playing tattoo in the morning and be up at 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm at work
I've not been
tired.
there
I'm like,
before,
I need
ever.
caffeine.
Yeah.
But that's when I need
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So just get some rest.
Hell yeah, guys. Yeah, get some sleep when you can, but also fuck it, dude. Have some caffeine. Sounds fun. That was fun, guys. That we ended up going places with stuff. That means it's at the end of the show, in which we now do our endorsement segment, in which we we prep for the day in which we'll have ad reads. But right now we don't. So what do we like to use? What's making our life better? What kind of stuff? I'm actually gonna go first. Fuck it. I am going to endorse. We were talking about Jägermeister earlier. But spoilers, it's time to grow up, everyone. We're old now. So
It's
drink
not
Fernet
the
Branca.
same. It's not the same. I know what you're talking about right now.
I know, but drink Fernet Branca instead. Fernet. I think I've endorsed this before, honestly.
What is it?
Fernet rules.
Fernet,
Fernet
dude.
is an Italian liqueur that's very popular in Argentina as well as San
Okay.
Francisco, California. San Francisco, California drinks more Fernet than the entire rest of the world combined.
Yep. It's this
type.
type of shit, dude. It's pinky up.
I was gonna say, is this the
Nonsense.
pinky out type of
Yeah,
shit?
oh,
Like,
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
the Arturo should know. This is the bartender's drink, right? So like typically in San Francisco, if you ask to buy a bartender a shot, like that's what you're getting them is a shot of Fernet.
Oh, not a delicious Irish whiskey. Get out of here, dude.
Well,
why,
it's
what's
too
special
floral.
about this?
There's
What-
too
one of the
many
things that-
herbs in it. It's like,
One of the things
what
it's
are you
not as high
muddling?
proof.
Why? How are you gonna muddle 10 million things into one fucking liquor? It's ridiculous.
So it
But
gets
is
you,
it better?
The drunk that it gets you is really cool because it has a bit of that absintheness to it, where it's all these herbs make you feel a certain type of way. The drunk is a little loopier. It's a little bit more like goofy and fun, and it's also not as high proof as like a full proof spirit. So it's kind of drinkable. Like if someone's buying you shots, you can kind of drink. The other thing it lines your stomach whatever, your stomach lining, so it helps you drink more throughout the night if you start your night off with it. It's also a digestif, so if you've eaten a lot of food and you're having trouble, it helps you it helps you digest a little bit, which is cool. Arturo, that does make sense, but I just read a stat about it not too long ago that was like they've surpassed the amount of Fernet that Argentina was drinking. So who knows? Yeah, Underbergs are similar type of ideas. If you ever see those little Underberg shots. Anyways, Fernette's a pretentious ass thing, but it's fucking delicious.
I was gonna say it sounds pretty
It's very
already
pretentious. No,
It's super pretentious.
it's really not. It's not that bad. I'm just giving you a hard time. But
It's one of those things where you'll buy someone a shot of it and they'll take it and they're like, that was fucking disgusting. But then they'll tell their friend about it, and then after telling a few friends about it, they'll have had like 6 or 7 shots of it, and then you get addicted to it. You're like, I want to take.
Is this like the vinyl thing for alcohol or whatever?
Sort of.
I only listen to vinyl kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
no, there's only one disgusting liquor out there. Fernet isn't disgusting. It's just intense because it's got it's got a lot of herbs. And it's like I said, it's like floral. It hits you in the nose, almost like.
You're
almost
talking
like
about
a
Chicago's
horseradish.
finest. I know you are.
Yeah, but the only gross fucking liquor out there is Malort, honestly.
Malort.
Y'all need to try that. I do have a bottle in my house, maybe one day. But I just wanted to call out that, rest in peace, Tony Shea. He came to Vegas. He did a lot of stuff here. And his drink of choice was Fernet. And so he brought Fernet to Vegas, especially downtown Vegas, especially at stuff like Life is Beautiful. You know what I mean? So we have a little bit of Fernet happening downtown here. And yeah, like Arturo's saying, try a Fernet margarita. It is a good mixer. I've tried a couple cocktails. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah, I made a cocktail and entered it. It was what got me. There's a thing called a Fernet coin, which you can get from a Fernet rep, which is if you like make a Fernet based cocktail, and it's like when you put it on a bar menu and it becomes popular enough or whatever, stuff like that. Sometimes they have competitions or whatever, things like that. If you get recognized by Fernet for using Fernet in your bar, they'll give you a coin, which is supposedly, I've never really tried it. Supposedly it's supposed to get you a free shot of Fernet anywhere, but whatever. I've never really tried it.
Let's try that.
It's mostly bragging rights. It's just that kind of thing.
That'd be a fun video. Just go around your city and just be like, Fernet, please, and see what happens.
Malort isn't alcohol; it's punishment sent down from the powers that be because of our sins.
Yeah.
Says Arturo.
It's really rough.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my endorsement. Fernet, it's cool. Try it out.
I put the boring Rockstar Energy endorsement. I don't think I've done that before. I may have, but I just this is the energy drink that I can actually endorse. But fuck it, I'll endorse Malort. Drink it, you coward.
I'm gonna endorse nut milk and nut creamer.
Oh,
and nut milk.
In a lot of cases, and oat, all alternatives to that. Look, we're not supposed to be we're taking the baby cow's food, okay? We're just not. I don't think we're supposed to be. So it's like 60% of people are a little lactose intolerant or more, right? So they just don't know it. But the majority of people are, and I don't think we're supposed to be drinking it personally.
The majority? Are you sure about that, or is this some sort of bias just because you are intolerant?
No, and there is I don't know, there's somewhere. Look into it. Google
Show me the data.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me the data. Yeah.
No, I mean it's probably true. It's just
probably
but
true.
I think
you're probably right.
Budge right through it.
From what I have heard and what I've seen on my Google feed and shit and articles from different studies, right? They have seen like, oh yeah, people are at least a little bit, the majority of people, lactose intolerant. Just kind of like allergic to cats too. Like most people are allergic to cats, just in varying degrees, right? So
I'm very.
I would say, yeah.
I'm anaphylactic shock.
In a lot of cases, a lot of people, they're like, well, it's not as creamy as milk, and no, they've done a lot of headway to make sure like it's pretty damn close.
No, they do pretty good. Oat milk is a big one around
Soy
here.
milk's good,
and it's more environmentally conscientious because it's easier to do that. There's less methane. There's less mass production, less cruelty to animals, those kind of things too. So.
Yeah, all good stuff. Yeah, that I'm as much as I fucking love dairy. I'm like fucking cheese and milk and shit is like my favorite thing on earth. So I just don't think I could give it up. Nope. But I have considered it for those types of reasons. Is the fact that we should stop doing that.
The PSA butter is also a dairy, so
it is. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, heads up.
By the way, every single time I've tried oat milk, it's tasted like. Or any kind of nut milk, it's always just tastes like the nut to me. That does not taste like milk.
Really?
It just tastes like an almond. Tastes like I'm drinking fucking almond water, dude. Every time. So
maybe
that's just me though. That doesn't make it bad. I'm just saying like this. I'm drinking a peanut right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't.
The funny thing is, I went back to drinking milk. I had like a cup of milk the other day, and I'm like, I immediately no. I was like, this is disgusting. I can't
that's
drink
interesting.
this. Like, it's like the coffee thing, right?
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
stopped for a while, and then like I
Totally.
went back to drinking, and I'm like, I can't fucking drink this. And
All of a
it's
sudden you
like I
realize
had
what it's
3
doing to your
sips, and I
body.
can't. I think so, yeah. Right, and it might be half psychosomatic. But yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's probably totally real. I mean,
has to
there's
be.
a good chance. It's interesting. My parents were total hippies when they first had me. Not really. I mean,
Big surprise.
My dad would never admit that. He actually like used to hate the Grateful Dead.
You're kind of a fucking hippie yourself, buddy.
Well, it's
little
just
bit,
fucking.
yeah.
It's just
But not-
fucking
yeah.
West Coast. It's just
Yeah.
West Coast in me. But I did grow up. In
I'm
like
West
one of the
Coast.
hippiest parts.
I ain't no hippie.
Yeah, I feel you.
Hey.
You're Nevada.
It's
Come on, bro.
California. It's that
You're
California
hippie
shit.
adjacent, Jacob. You're hippie adjacent.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. But no, it's just. Anyways, so my parents were going through a vegetarian phase when they had me. So I was vegetarian until I was like 11 years old.
Wow.
And it's weird. I was super lactose intolerant that whole time. And then as soon as I started eating meat, all of a sudden I could handle dairy. It was, I don't
Weird.
know what the correlation was. So as soon as I started eating meat, I was like, give me all the cheese. and then ever since then, I've been obsessed.
Do they make cheese out of
do,
oat milk? We'll find that out next time.
There's some
on
funky
People did an
vegan
allergy
cheeses, but I'm
episode.
just not a fan.
What were you about to say, Steven?
Just allergies. We should do like a talk about
Yeah.
allergies. You know.
Hey, I
I'm allergic to
respect
bullshit.
I respect allergies, okay? Yeah, I have an allergy myself.
Yeah.
I don't know about you
I
guys.
acknowledge them
Respect.
casually.
I'm gonna say this brave statement. Yeah, if I ever spent the night at Miguel's house, I think I'd probably end up in the hospital.
Yeah, I don't have a cat. I don't have a cat anymore, but I did. So
It's usually like I'm not like it's their dander, right? So it's actually their skin particles.
yeah,
So as long as your house is like relatively clean, it's probably
Yeah.
gone.
it's kind of sad because, like, you know, I'm like, there's no more cat hair anymore, which means that Lilu's just really gone. You know, and it's sad, but
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry, buddy.
it's But hey, you could stay at my place, so that's an upside.
It would be fine. I also, you pop a Benny and I'm fine usually. So.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
you're
if
not.
there's like if there's active cats like on my face, like it's
As long as you're not allergic to dogs, we're good.
Fuck no, I love
I
that.
got a stupid dog who will jump all over you and lick your face.
That's fun.
I love her.
Yeah, me too. Guys, that was the episode. We did it.
Good one.
Wait. Hold on.
Tell him to stop or I'll pull up his search history.
Nope.
We did it!
We did it!
Great
Yay!
job.
Thanks for everyone.
Great job.
Hey, I didn't go too long.
Can I pet that dog?
Thanks for everyone who's been in the chat and hanging out with us live. It's one of the perks you get from being live. If you sub to our Twitch channel, you get ad-free viewing, as well as you can hang out in the chat with us live, and we'll talk to you like you're here in the chat, because you are, and that's fun. And but then if not, catch this on YouTube. It'll come out Friday for you, midday sometime. And yeah, we'd love it if you gave us a like or especially a comment. It really helps with our ever-long battle against the YouTube algorithm. And then the other big thing you can do at this stage is tell your friends. If you have other nerdy friends who you think would tolerate our buffoonery, we'd certainly, word of mouth is huge in this day and age. So yeah, come hang out and watch. And then if you're into the game stuff and you like our discussion about games, check out Neon Gaming Dimension, which is our sub channel that focuses strictly on gaming nerd stuff. We're doing some really fun stuff over there, and it's going to be a good couple of weeks coming up as we enter the summer fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I can't wait.
Not this week, but next week there's going to be an Odd Valley episode, says Jacob. Check out Odd Valley's Twitter for more updates on that. That's Odd Valley Pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Twitter?
It's at Odd Valley Pod, which I'm
Excellent.
typing on the
Pod,
screen.
Odd Valley Pod on Twitter. So there's always updates there. That is Jacob's fantastic drinking show that started it all. So that's a good time.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's-
get back on there. It's been hard scheduling wise, but one day it'll happen. So
Yeah, I mean, we're all set
oh no,
up.
should I watch this on YouTube? No, Arturo, we're really happy you're here in the chat.
Yes,
It's more fun. It's way more fun.
Well, you should sub to us on
but
YouTube. That'd be great.
If you ever fucking miss it, you can hang out on there. It's fun.
Absolutely.
Or just go over and leave a comment or subscribe to our channel just to do that.
Yep.
And also, something I always forget to promote, but I want to do more because I'd love to have more write-ins. Is you can write us at Gmail, neonpocketdimension@gmail.com. Write in with topic suggestions or questions for us, and we will totally do a grab bag of those, and so that'd be fun. I should start putting that at the front of the show more often. I will make a note to put that in the
put it in the doc.
I'm gonna put it in the doc.
Just just so you know, definitely going to do Odd Valley coming up. I think the 31st.
Heck
so
yes.
next weekend, I believe that is. But whatever day it is, we are going to talk about reality TV. So that should be a fun one. And always come ready to drink on those episodes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Have at least a couple beers, some sort of drink, and then 2 shots ready. You know what I'm saying?
Cherry out here doing promotion for us as a TikTok clips are hilarious, which is true.
Yeah,
Singer
TikTok.
Bro
We're on TikTok.
over here has been slaying, and
you could just Google all our shit. It's on the internet. You'll find us everywhere.
We are easy to find. You will find us if you Google Neon Pocket. I need a weapon. I need a weapon.
So yeah, this was fun and good times. So thanks for everyone for hanging out and checking out this later. See you soon for Summer Game Fest stuff, and stay classy, San Diego.
I'm gonna be out.